Alright, some of you guys who watch my guitar videos, you're probably wondering why the title of this video has something about U.S. Army Ranger School in it. And if you're looking for a Ranger School video, you're probably wondering why I'm holding a guitar, but I play guitar now, and that's what I do. I have nothing to do with the military anymore. It's a great experience, but so we'll play a little bit of guitar for a second. Anyways, Ranger School. Man, I went to Ranger School back in 2002. I'm almost 43 years old, so that's nearly 20 years ago. I was coming from Italy. I was a sergeant at the time. I was in reconnaissance scout platoon. I was assistant reconnaissance squad leader. I was very headstrong. Never quite sure about my potential. I always lacked a little bit of confidence and stuff, but I always realized after assuming a position that I did better than most people at the job because, I was just very nitpicky on everything, and it paid off in the end. But so, God, okay. So I get to Ranger School, and just like every other school I went to, coming from Italy, my bags were lost. Sniper School, BNOC, my bags are lost, and, BNOC was after Ranger School. But Ranger School, I get there, of course, guess what? No fucking bags. Man, I was stressed out. I was hoping they were going to show up that first day. They didn't. I went through the first day PT test and all that stuff, because I had my PTs with me. I get to the point of the layout. I ain't got nothing to fucking lay out, so guess what? Recycle. A couple weeks goes past. Start up the course again. By that time, I was comfortable about being there. The nerves were out and stuff. So, no big deal. Knocked that out. And first phase was no biggie. Quit and dip and cold turkey going to Ranger School was the worst part. I'm pretty wiry, dude. So sleep wasn't much of an issue for me, or lack of sleep. Food and lack of Copenhagen or no Copenhagen was a bigger thing. But anyways, get to mountains phase. I really busted my ass pretty good in mountains phase. I could see that a lot of guys needed help, and being a sergeant at the time from infantry, it's just like a lot of that stuff was second nature to me, especially in the team leader kind of slot. I was always taking care of guys and filling out status cards for them. They couldn't do it in time, and it was pretty easy stuff for me. But sector sketches and all that kind of crap, and all basic infantry stuff. There was one night in mountains phase. We come off some mission, maybe an ambush or something. Hell, I don't even know. I don't remember. It was so long ago. But I remember coming down this little gravel road, and it was a pretty long movement to that point, and we set up security. And I had the saws pulling up 6. I was a little saw gunner at the time. I wasn't in leadership position for that. And like the leader's recon went out to go set up ORP or whatever. This is a lot of terminology I don't remember anymore. That set up the patrol base, and and they're out doing their thing, and things got pretty quiet. So quiet that I passed the fuck out. I was like, and I never fell asleep in Ranger School. That moment I did. And but I just remember waking up and I was like, oh my God, I'm that guy. I was like, it's quiet. Hold on, let's play guitar for a second. Get to it. I was making up something the other day. Anyways, pretty sound, clean stuff. So I pop up, realize, fuck, I fell asleep. I'm that dude, right? Then it really starts to sink in. I'm that only dude. I'm the only dude on the fucking road. It was dark. My nods turned off because, my head was down or whatever. And so I jump up, turn my nods on, look around, and I see about 100 meters out. I see all the IR lights from the nods setting up a patrol base. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I'm in so much trouble. I just fucked it. And it wasn't even about me. I was like, I just screwed over the PO. I was like, big team player. So anyways, nods are on, man. I pop up and just make a beeline for the IR lights and the patrol base. Hopping through there, just doing like the little hop you do when you don't want to roll an ankle in the middle of the night with nods on. And I get over there real quick, and I can tell everybody's straight zombie mode. That whole platoon was dead. Heads down, and I finally find the patrol leader. I'm like, hey man, is your head count good? He's like, whatever, just totally zonked out. And he's like, yeah. I was like, dude, look, I'll be honest with you, man. I fell asleep on the road. And he's like, dude, what? He's like, the RI see ya? I was like, no. I was like, I'm good. I got everything. You damn dumbass. And that's when it hit me. I realized I didn't have my ruck on. I was like, oh, fuck. My ruck was still on the ground right there up on that gravel road. I was like, I'll be right back. So I'm a pretty fast dude, right? Pretty skinny little sneaky dude, and So I hop back up to that gravel road, and I come up short. I come up short and realize there's a couple RIs sitting right there, laying out their sleeping bags, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, this is it. And I hear a voice that I recognize, two voices. So happens to be two of the platoon sergeants that were in my first duty station, Sergeant Prather and Sergeant Salam. I can't remember his last name. I think it was Salam. Both Sergeant First Classes. Salam was my actual platoon sergeant. Sergeant Prather was one of the platoon sergeants in the other platoon. That was in the 1st 509th in JRTC, Fort Polk. And they're like, what are you doing up here, Ranger? And I was like, I told him, I was like, I fell asleep, Sergeant. You're PO now? Yeah, I already linked up with him. Who was that, Singer? I'm like, oh, I recognize his voice. Yes, Sergeant, that's me. And the only thing he said was, okay. It's like, whoa. The one time I got lucky in Ranger School. The one time. It was two of my old platoon sergeants. They didn't give me no favors except for that moment. They watched the whole fucking thing. Because I was probably 20 feet from them when I popped up. My back was to him when I turned off running. And so I went and grabbed my ruck and went in. And I never said anything to the PO. They saw that I handled it. So that was one funny story. So let's do a little guitar playing for a second. Got a little automaton compadre, the Strymon compadre, which I just got after the automaton tremolo. And that's the V30 and V40 in the clean channels. All right, my second memory that was like watching these Ranger School videos on YouTube. It just, like I said, it just starts refreshing my memory on some things, and it's always the shitty stuff that, of course, sucks at the time, but is comical when you laugh about it later. Same like with Iraq, he didn't get killed, and things sort of funny a couple months later. But Florida phase. You do that Santa Rosa mission out there, and it went like shit anyway. It was fucking sand and everything. It was an assed up mission. But I remember we came back to the edge of the beach, whatever, and we were walking. Oh my god, I was so effing delirious by that point. I was platoon sergeant for that final movement, so I was near the rear. And when I say delirious at that point, I could not tell myself that the white sand was not snow. I grew up in Ohio, so I know what snow looks like. I'm very familiar with it. But I was so out of it, trying to keep track of shit, that I was like, that's snow. I'm walking in snow, Anyways, I had a good friend there in Ranger School. His name was Sergeant Delarocco. I met him back in Korea. Korea was my second duty station. We were in PLDC together, became good friends. And next thing you know, and just a couple years later, we see each other again in Ranger School, end up in the same platoon. So I had a good friend there. And I remember it was that last movement. We were walking forever, which felt like forever, like 10 miles. It felt like calves just feel huge from the sand. Your shoulders are just feel like they're down by your ankles, Like I said, I was a skinny guy, but I was earning my keep. And I was starving. And, in Florida phase at the time, you can keep little snacks with you and eat them and stuff like that. But so we're like in a staggered, what was that, staggered kind of formation, not really a file, but what the hell you call it. And everybody's taking a knee for security, and I come up to Delarocco, and I remember my voice. I was like, hey, Rock. He's like, hey, Singer. And I was so fucking hungry, and I see him with the shape of the bag of Skittles, the moon's behind him, the shape of his helmet and his nod, and this bag of Skittles. And this silhouette will always stick with me the rest of my fucking life because it was so funny. I see him open his mouth, and the Skittles are going in, and I can hear the Skittles clicking on his teeth. He's crunching on them. And I was like, hey, Rock, you got any food, man? I was so fucking done. I was so done. And I heard that last Skittle hit his tooth. He's like, no, man. He was in the same shape. That was my last one. I bowed my fucking head, and I ain't gonna lie, I had a fucking tear drop out of my eye. I was so fucking hungry, and I was about at that point in Ranger School. I was literally about to say, "Fuck this." I was like, "Fuck this shit." 20 seconds later, our eyes, literally 20 seconds. All right, Rangers, that's it. You're done. Get your shit over here. I was like, fucking thank you. I remember the Blackhawks coming, picked us up, and we got on the birds. I can't remember a lot of it. And I passed out, my face up against the door of that Black Hawk, and I just remember landing on that tarmac and on the main base part of there in Florida phase, and it was over. I was like, but that last minute, I was about to say fuck it. Everybody always wants to say fuck it in Ranger School, you just don't, and I wouldn't have it, but those are good memories and stuff, and I like to make memories now with kids and playing guitar. Quite a big difference. I don't own any guns or I don't do anything with military stuff, but it's good memories. I got a good tattoo. Hell, I drive a Ford Ranger that has a Ranger tab on it. It's sort of funny. Anyway, there's always something in here. Ranger tab on the wall, Ranger tab on my arm. It is what it is. Hey, I'm playing a black and gold guitar, right? Kind of things that stick with you. But those are two of my funny Ranger School stories and a little bit of guitar playing. So we'll go back to a little bit of playing. Hopefully I don't botch this up too much. That was just an awesome tone, especially the in between. Well, that's it for today. I felt like telling a story, part of my past and things that I hold on to. Anyways, peace. Y'all have a great day. Rangers lead the way.